Hello, beautiful people. Future me. Let's get into it, shall we? Today my belly hurts. Not that it would be anything for you important. Just talking. Let's go. Alright. 6%. Oh, I thought it would be worse. 35 BPM. Well, let's do one more time. Maybe two. Who knows? Okay, what's the score? Ah, excellent. That's awesome. That was awesome. Alright, this one will be a little bit worse. 1% is still very good. The previous exceptionally great. So now I want to execute program. What's what I want to do? Hmm. Oh, it works now. Cool. Javascript. Okay, let's go on it. Code examples. First, rest returns rest. This will be 2, 3, 4. That is 8. Write a double numbers template literal tag. It mimics normal string interpolation, but doubles all of the interpolated values as they are inserted. So, yeah, so we will append to the result, and we will append strings with the I index, and if we have something added from values, we'll do so, and that is I values like this, I hope. So, not string values on the ith position, like so. Then what I will close this for, I will return the result. So I'll close the function, so let's check it once again. I'll do this. Result, strings length, we are appending from strings. If I is not out of bound of the values, we'll put something from the values inside of there. Close the if, close the for statement, rock and roll. What? Oh my god, my typo is my enemy. Okay. Safe integer multiply. So I have to check for it to be safe integer, I think. That was name is safe integer rate, and so let const result. Okay, result, and that will be x times y. Y then if number is safe integer, I'll put in a result. Then we will return it. Return a result. Else we will throw the exception. So you said throw new exception. Oops. Undefined is not NaN, so this is false. Number is finite, true. False. What do we have here? This is destructuring, so get name user will get us Amir. Add volume function method to 3D. I know what is this. So this will be volume function, and we will return this dot base area times this dot like so. Or I can do it just like this without the curly braces. This should work as well. And it does. Write the double number. This one still does not work. Write the double numbers, template literal tag. So double. Oh yeah, that's the thing where I did the typo in. So first I will do this. Then results we will append yeah, strings at ith position, and if I smaller than values. Okay, hopefully now it's correct. Close this. I don't want to read it even. Crap. Yeah, oops. I should double it. Oh, that's... Which one? I will write that stuff, so it will be seal mat and times 3 f2. Okay. Function name property. Normally, defining a function automatically assigns it to a variable. If we declare a function f, we can use the variable f to refer to our function. Yep. Functions declared like this have a name property. As you might expect, the name of a function f is string f. So this will be f. Functions don't have to have names though. If a function is created without a name, its name will be the empty string. These are called anonymous function. Ah, so this will be empty string. This is the anonymous function. If we immediately assign the anonymous function to a variable, that variable's name will become the function's name. Functions created like this are still called anonymous because there are no names specified in the function definition. But this is Still not. The function remembers its original name even if it's assigned a different variable. So f2 will be in this. Okay. Anonymous functions only get a name if they are assigned directly to variable. If we put the function in array, for example, it won't get the array's name. Instead, it will have no name. Arrow function syntax doesn't give us any place to specify the function's name. As a result, arrow functions are always anonymous. However, like normal functions, they do get a name if they are assigned directly to a variable. So this doesn't have, this will have f name. Anonymous function. Okay. Two. JSON string define and parse. In the past, we had to use third-party libraries to read and write JSON. Fortunately, modern versions of JavaScript include built-in JSON support. JSON parse. Oh, you get an object from that? That's cool. The stringify method returns object into JSON string. By default, it will pack to JSON tightly. For example, there's no space after the colon in the stringified object above. The parse method returns JSON string back to an object. By combining the two methods, we can round-trip an object to JSON and back, ending up with the same object as we started with. So we'll get name Amir and close the object. This is stringify in here, and then it's parsed. If we try to parse string what isn't valid JSON, we'll get an error. You can type error when a code example will throw an error. JSON stands for JavaScript Object Notation. Object notation. However, not all JavaScript object syntax is valid JSON. Really? The full details on JSON syntax are out of scope of this course, but we'll examine one quick example to make the point. JavaScript objects keys don't have to be quoted, but JSON keys do require quotes. If we try to parse a JSON string with unquoted keys, we'll get an error. This one is okay, so we'll get this one. This one is error. The JSON methods will parse and stringify any JSON compatible value, not just objects. They work on arrays, strings, numbers, etc. undefined is an important special case because it's not allowed in JSON. Oh, when we go stringify and undefined in the original object will be turned into nulls. If we then parse the resulting JSON, we will get a null out. The JSON contains no hints that there ever was an undefined. Okay, that is very interesting. So we'll get one, no, two. JSON can't represent circle objects that reference themselves. If we try to stringify one, we get an error. Hmm. Sometimes we'll want an object to specify how it should be serialized to JSON. We can do that by putting a function in its toJSON property. JSON.stringify will call that function and use its result rather than the original. Okay. It takes all of the things. Okay. The toJSON function isn't responsible for actually converting to JSON. Stringify will still do the part. Instead, toJSON returns a new JavaScript object to be serialized in the place of the original. So we are parsing, we are stringify. This was a mirror is the object, so we will get this object. This was a mirror. And I finished the lesson. Last to go. JavaScript gained a new class syntax in 2015, making it more familiar to programmers who already know common object-oriented languages like Java, C#, Python, or Ruby. If you already know an object-oriented language, this first lesson on classes might be very easy, but we'll soon turn to issues that are specific to JavaScript's version of classes. Classes describe the shape of an object. What's wrong with my mouse? Oh, it's good. What properties and method functions it has. Class method definition look like the shorthand method syntax that we already saw in literal objects. Method name, blah blah blah. We construct an instance of a class with a new, and it looks like new my class. The instance is an object with all of the properties and method functions specified by the class. So new for name, it will return. Someone really likes cats. Classes can have constructors. which are special methods that initialize the object. Okay, so here's the constructor. It says constructor, and this will be this fluff. But why define a misfluff class when we can define more generic cat? We can use that class to make multiple different cats. Here's a cat. Constructor takes a parameter name, and we will set the name. So cat here, this will be fluff, and the second one will be Kinu. I'm almost sure now that those cats are real cats somewhere in the world, and they really have owners, Amir and Betty. Define a cat class whose constructor takes both name and age. Store the name and age as properties on this. Sure, no problem. Mrs. Fluff and Kino are instances of the cat class. When we create them with new cat, we are instantiating the class into a specific instance. Use new to instantiate an array of two cats, Mrs. Fluff and Kino. So, sure. New cat, and this will be, what was it? Fluff. First one, second one will be new cat, and this is Kino. Like so, close the array. Classes can contain methods, which are functions that show up in the individual instances. Methods can access the object's property by doing this some property name. True, true. Yeah, so it will be true, false. What do you mean? Ah. You got me. I did not read it. It was this thing. This is vaccinated, and we are calling actually need vaccination. Define an area method on the rectangle class. That will be area, and we will return this times this dot height. We can't call instance method directly on the class itself. If we try, we'll get an error. If you can type error, blah blah blah. The new keyword is required when instantiating classes. New cat. If you try to create a cat by calling the class like a function, we'll get an error. JavaScript's native object system is prototype based, which is unusual, and therefore unfamiliar to a lot of programmers. Yeah, we haven't mentioned that object system here precisely because it's so unusual. Prototypes are better viewed as an advanced topic to be studied once the more normal parts of modern JavaScripts are familiar. However, the class-based syntax in this lesson is only syntactic sugar. It's a new syntax layered over the older prototype-based object system. When possible, we recommend using classes rather than prototypes because they are more widely understood. Occasionally, you'll be forced to dig down into the prototype system, especially when dealing with older JavaScript code or very unusual kinds of objects. We are done. Just 2 minutes over the time. That means we are done. And done is better than perfect. I'll see you next time. Bye.